guys, I'm back from Ballybuffet or Bruges or whatever to talk to you about RPGs, Jabberwocky, and the very foundations of our existence. Plus, we'll be announcing the winner of last week's show. Welcome to Indie Thursday. The first game I want to talk about today is really amazing. This is by a company called Game to Grow.
Yes, a non-profit company.
Non-profit organisation. And this is an RPG, but it's an RPG with a difference.
Yes, so it's called Critical Core, and it's made specifically for those on the autism spectrum. So those with Asperger's, autism, or on the ASD spectrum. So essentially it's using lots of different models, the FEDC, the Functional and Emotional Developmental Capacity Framework, to help those on the spectrum develop social skills and provide a safe space so that they can learn those social skills. So one of the interesting quotes on the video is that after engaging in one of these sessions, a child will be able to think, what would my hero do that I have played as, and draw from actual lived experience or actual played experience, which is really amazing.
You see, I love this. This is one of the things that first attracted me to this, and it's gaining so much traction on Kickstarter at the moment. And again, Game to Grow, non-profit organisation, they're gaining a lot of traction as people that are changing the field to make it more accessible. There are 3 adventure books in this. Each adventure book is 6 to 8 chapters, and each chapter is 60 to 90 minutes. So there's plenty there.
Exactly, and they're close to a stretch goal, which will get them to a 4th adventure book, which is amazing. And
in it, there are guidance for facilitators as well, so not just game masters, but parents and carers who would be looking after.
Exactly. One of the difficulties they've faced is that in building something like this, a lot of parents don't actually know what tabletop role-playing games are. Fair enough. You know, it's still, though it's seen an explosion, it's still kind of growing, and so it includes a book that really introduces parents into the world of tabletop role-playing games and how this can help their kids. So they're seen as facilitators. So it's amazing. Yeah, I have to say I'm really impressed with this. I'm really impressed with the quality of it and what they're doing. You know, bringing it into the field. The only thing is, obviously, you have to be able to read and write for this. Is the only real accessibility that they say that you still need, you know, to be able to do it. But outside of that, you know, there's the testimonials alone. And I would encourage you to go onto the Kickstarter and check it out, because the testimonials have said, you know, people start to think differently, and they leave it, as you say, what would my hero do in this situation? And it works with a lot of, as you say, emotional reasoning, grayscale reasoning, logical thinking, and things as well. It does follow that FEDC framework. So this is a really important game, and it's not limited to people who are on the spectrum. It's everybody can play, but the fact that it is accessible to them is fantastic. It's a wonderful little jump when we think about that idea of what would my hero do. It's very interesting when we think that in parallel to how important representation is. So when you see this as such a very real played experience, as I said, of what would my hero do, you can expand that out into, wow, representation really is important for people to look up to something or somebody that inspires them and teaches them how to act in a positive way. It's we could Brian and I have both got quite emotional over this game, but definitely want to check out. 'Twas brillig, and the mists of time to gar and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the bargroves, and the mome's wrath I grave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub bird, and shun the humorous Bandersnatch.
You okay there, Cass?
Lewis Carroll, son! Jabberwocky.
Cool. Okay.
I have a card game for you.
Tell me more about the card game, Cass.
A wonderful card game based on Jabberwocky, which is one of my favourite poems by Lewis Carroll. Absolutely amazing. I can quote it word for word.
And she has been.
I have all day. This is, what I like about this is it's a deck of cards, but it's 5 card games in one. And that's kind of, I've gotten really into this kind of pocket travel games that allow multiple playability for multiple players without costing the world or being like really luggy around.
And as you say, one of the great things about this is that the multiple games cater to different ranges of players. So there's a solo game in there, there's 2-player games, there's three to four player games. Yep. So there is a lot of variety in this set.
So the one we have set up here is Borogroves, and for anyone that knows Lewis Carroll, will know that a Borogrove is a bird, a pretty raggedy looking bird.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
I know that. So this is a 2-player game where essentially one of you acts as a cartographer making a map, and the other one acts as Borogroves, which are birds trying to explore and uncover the secrets of this new world. And the cartographer plays against the Borogroves. So Sam, you have been the Borogroves, and these are the 3 nests.
These are my 3 tribes of Borogroves. They look like scraggly birds, don't they? So it's my job to try and move these around on the map that you're going to be making for me.
Yep, so then on my turn as a cartographer, I would place a card and then drop a new card, and that number is how many Borogroves can move onto that card.
Yeah, I need to try and number match. So I have 3 actions I can take. I can migrate, bringing my gems onto the... Sorry, my Borogoves onto the map. So let's see. I think I'm only going to migrate the 1, and it has to match the number there, so onto that one. And then I can explore, moving Borogoves from one place to the next. I'm thinking I might actually... yeah, I'm going to move this one down here to try and keep that number. And then my last one is settle, where I can take away a Borogove and put them back in the box, and they're removed from the game forever.
But it is advantageous sometimes, because at the end of the game, whenever the full map's been laid out, points are scored for the cartographer based on the right colour and the right number of Borogroves sitting on each part of the map, and for each bit of the map that doesn't have a Borogrove on it as well. So it's got a really interesting scoring system. But as I say, this is one game out of 5 games. So you have Gyre, Slithy, Bandersnatch, Borogroves, and Mimsy for your 5 different games, and each one is different amount of players. It's lovely. I think it's great. It's played with 3 different suits, going from 1 to 5, and 3 Jabberwocky cards, which are these nest cards.
The art is just brilliant, and there are a few things that take as much joy with words as the Jabberwocky poem.
Well, this is it, Jabberwocky being one of my favourite things.
Do you really know the rest of it word perfect?
And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy, O Frabber.
This could go on for a while. Move on to the next one.
Pew, 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 pew. Anyway, I want to talk to you about a game called Nebula. Now, anyone who pays attention on Beasts of War will know I love a game called Planetarium. It's one of my favourites. Nebula is similar. You're creating stars, and then around those stars you form planets. Now you do this by using atoms, which are handed out like elements, and for hydrogen, for example, in a square creates a star, and then from there you put elements around the star to form a planet in the solar system, and each star can hold 3 planets. Now, it is a competitive game. You play against other people, but what I guess attracted me to this game is just that it's beautiful, and it's about space, and it looks a bit like Planetarium. It's maybe not as... I quite like the mechanic in Planetarium of movement, and it doesn't have that, so I don't think I would rank this as highly as Planetarium, but certainly I think it's interesting, and as an educational tool for the matter which makes up our solar system, which makes stars, which makes planets, which makes movement, how things are formed, how things exist, which is all the stuff that gives me my big nerd geek sciencey smile, and that kind of like mad scientist look. Yeah, no, I like this, and I think that if you are interested in that kind of mechanism of you know, how we exist, how planets are formed, then this might be one for you. So essentially your elements are got with a drafting system, and the game continues until the elements run out. And it's just beautiful. It's just a very pretty game. Points are scored based on the type of planets that you create, the amount of stars you've created, where you've placed them. Yeah, I like this one. And if you're as much of a big sky star nerd as I am, well then get over and back it. The winner of the Crow Scratches Dice Tower competition can be found in the Claim a Prize section. And if you don't mind, I have a Jabberwocky to go and fight. She took her Vorpal sword in hand. Long time the Maxim foe she sought.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.